Kyle Klingman with Trackwrestling going to the Lehigh Valley. Lehigh just got a really, really good recruit, Ryan Crookham, number 2 at 126 pounds in the track wrestling rankings. He has committed going into his junior year of high school to Lehigh. How are you, Ryan?
Good. Thanks for having me.
This is cool. Lehigh got a big recruit, and I've read about how you made your decision that you put side by side the schools you were thinking about, and it seems like Lehigh was the perfect fit. Why was it?
Yeah, for sure. So number one, I feel like, we can win individual titles there, but also a team title. That's what I really want, having everyone on the team have success. And I know we can do that at Lehigh because I feel we have the best coaching staff in the country, under Pat Santoro, 2-time NCAA champ, Zach Ray, national champ, and Brad Dillon, NCAA All-American. I think I'd put their coaching staff up against, any other school in the country. And, the belief they have in their guys, I think it's just really special. I feel really comfortable there for sure. Just from talking to them with, on the Zooms and everything, I just feel like, Lehigh is the place to be with the education and the athletics. I feel like it really does set me up for an amazing future when I get out in 4 or 5 years, to have a master's, because they prioritize, academics and athletics. So, I think it's going to be, a great fit. And I think we're going to make some noise as a team as well.
Why'd you decide to commit so early?
Yeah, so I did a lot of research, and I feel like I could have committed earlier and still been comfortable with it, just because, I went online, I did virtual visits, I talked with all the coaches, did tons of Zoom meetings, talking with them on the phone, texting them questions. So I kind of just laid out all the facts, and I just felt really comfortable with the coaches, and they believe so much in me. And I just felt it was the right time to commit, and I didn't really need to take any visits, just because when you go on a visit, I feel like it's not a true it's not like the reality of what it's going to be like to be on campus every day. You're watching maybe a wrestling match or a football game where, not everything's positive when, you're on campus. So I feel like by laying out all the facts and just thinking about where I want to be in 5 years after college and when I'm done wrestling, I feel like Lehigh sets me up great for my future. And for all those reasons, I feel like, Lehigh was a pretty easy decision for me.
We've seen this scenario before where a decision is made, they've committed, and then they've gone another direction. What makes you think you're going to stay with Lehigh long term?
Yeah, so I'm fully committed. I know, that's the place for me. And just I had a bunch of categories, and I like to say it checked all my boxes, but I probably had about like 10 important categories for me. So I had all the schools, and I put the categories out, and there would be, plus and minuses. And just in those categories, Lehigh had, all 10 pluses. So just from a category standpoint, Lehigh is like unmatched, in my opinion. And I can really picture myself, becoming a national champion, and as a team as well, having team success, and just the world-class education as well. It doesn't really get much better than Lehigh, for sure.
Do you remember a few of those categories you had there?
Yeah, so for me, it was the education. Was it a plus or a minus? The wrestling. So that was like the conference you're in, the coaching staff, And then also like the partners in the room you might have. Um, and then it was trust. Do you think do you really trust these coaches? Yeah, and Lehigh, I feel super comfortable there. I can really picture myself um, getting my arm raised and jumping in Coach Santoro's arms and all that. But yeah, um, other categories were campus. So I did virtual visits, through the college websites and all that. And Lehigh had the most beautiful campus I saw. It it didn't really feel like some of the campuses felt like you were in like a city almost because it was like um, I don't know, it was like a road and it was kind of like almost like a square type campus. Everything was blocky. But at Lehigh, it was like more almost like from Harry Potter, kind of like that old vibe kind of. It's really beautiful there for sure. And yeah, and then in terms of like distance, I feel like Lehigh's awesome because I don't really have to, go home during the summer and I can keep taking classes and keep training, to achieve my goals. And yeah, I kind of forget the other ones, but yeah, Lehigh, it was just the perfect fit for me.
Maybe it wasn't a category, but there is nothing like the Snake Pit. Grace Hall is a electric environment. I have to think that factors in, and thinking about how much fun you're going to have wrestling there.
For sure. Just the Lehigh Valley in general, it's an awesome fan base and they really know wrestling. I don't think there's a better place really in the country for wrestling. And being in Grace Hall, it gets so loud in there and, just talking about the fans and, um, I'm really excited to wrestle in there. I wish I could wrestle, every match in college in there, but I can't. But at least I'm really happy.
And Lehigh has a great wrestling tradition too, whether it's Mike Caruso, Tom Scully. I mean, you can go on down the line, John Trench. There's been a great history there. Are you plugged into what the history is of the wrestling program?
Yeah, I've done my research on the history of the program as well, and I've been coached by Trend as well, and he's a great guy. And I think he had a movie as well about him. But yeah, so I know all about Lehigh's tradition, and I don't think I don't think they've ever had like a national championship team, but they've been pretty close. But yeah, that's also one of my goals. Coming into college, we want to win a national title as a team. But yeah, Lehigh has an awesome tradition. But I think we we can really make a run for a national title for sure.
What's the next 2 years of high school look like for you?
Yeah, so right now I'm not really sure about the whole season, but hopefully there's a state tournament. I would really want to get that in just because it's so special to compete in a giant center and with all your teammates and everyone. And then I've got Who's Number One coming up soon, so I'm excited for that. Just to get on the mat in general. I haven't competed in a while, and I know I'm itching to compete. I'm sure everyone else is, but yeah, I'm just excited for that match. And then if I'm allowed to do college opens, I guess I'll try and compete in those. Just to test myself as early as possible against other college guys. I think is huge. And then this summer, if there's a freestyle season, junior world team trials, yeah.
Is that your vision and goal as of right now, as the world and Olympic championships when you get out of college or in college?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure how the years line up for the Olympics, but yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine is to win a world title. And after college, maybe 1 or 2 years of freestyle wrestling. But yeah, I think after college, I'll probably go into my career sooner than staying in wrestling for tons of years. But yeah, for right now, I'm really focused in on freestyle wrestling for sure. And yeah.